And we're back with another episode of Let's Play PC Building Simulator. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. It's like we're so close to level 30, which I looked it up just to make sure. It currently is the game's level cap, which is pretty much the end, kind of the end game thing. I think somewhere I read that there's some story quest line that you can do at 30 that's only available when you're level 30. So obviously we would do that too. I'm not going to worry about it now, of course, because we're not there yet. So, I want to get this underway here. Because this one's going to be the big weirdo here. So... restart that. A little louder than I had it before. Do. It's riddled with prawn, riddled with prawn. Yes, it is completely riddled with prawn. All the prawn. All the prawn. Take out the drive bay. Okay, let's see. This has to come out. And... really? I don't think that the RAM is necessarily in the way. I just think we got to put this in first, then put the RAM in. Well, it might actually be in the way, which means it's impossible to do this. Yeah, it's impossible to do this. Unless I'm missing something. Um... Oh, wait a minute. See, there's something else here. What the hell? Okay. See, if I put that up there... can't put the other thing in. I can't put any RAM in. Oh, it's the size of the memory. I see. So I couldn't put it in because the memory sticks out too far. Got it. Derp, 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 derp. That's silly, but whatever. Okay. Let's get this done. I want to try something. Okay, it doesn't let me do it. Okay. Do 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 do. Well, doesn't look like anything else really. Can't put the beauty panel in. I'm pretty sure we can't put the drive bays in. Nope. Let's go ahead and put in coolant. Oh, shoot. Let me put in the damn block. There we go. I'm just waiting for it to get the loop going. So that's why it is the way it is. Okay, so we need to run that and run that. Now the thing is the color scheme here. We may need to get some, like, not fans, but RAM sticks that have RGB on it. We'll worry about that in a minute. What's the color again? 255085. So 255085, right? Well, it says install, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see here. It's all used. And even if I wanted to, because we can't put that back in either. Well, wait a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 2 RAM sticks that have RGB on it. Is really what it comes down to. And they can't be tall either. So, what did this have in for memory before? 3200? Okay, let's look at that. And that should work. Assuming it fits, which we don't really know. It fits. There we go. Should probably check for viruses too. So we didn't touch the hard drive. And you never, ever truly know. It's good. Nice. And a new Threadripper. Alright, thanks for the new graphics card. I'm really excited about putting it through through its paces. And I know I made the right choice. The only problem is I didn't realize how underpowered the rest of the machine is. I'm basically learning this stuff as I go. It looks like the biggest problem right now is my CPU. The guys over at PC Expert Zone recommended an i9-9900K, and I reckon they're right. The benchmarks for that look good, especially with CPU-heavy games like Assassin's Creed. Really happy with the numbers I've seen. The only problem is, from what I've read, that won't fit in my current motherboard. I checked out some hardware reviews. Sounds like the best choice is the Maximus X Apex. Solid hardware, and it gives me some room to upgrade in the future. Lastly, some new memory. I read that the Trident Z4500 are the best, so might as well future-proof myself and go for some of those. I'm really getting into the PC building thing. Well, the parts are anyway. I'm just not confident enough to try building anything myself. Not yet anyway, lol. Anyway, if you can handle fitting that CPU, motherboard, and RAM, that would be great. Pro Pat Mate. Okay, well, yeah, we can do that. So we'll just order what we know he wants. I was rudely interrupted by someone at the door. Alright, well, really quick, I bought all of this stuff here, so we're good with that. Okay. I didn't check to see how much money we had left over, but even if we did have money left over, it's not much to buy anything else to this rig. But you know what we do need to look at is okay, he's got that should be easily transferable. We're gonna get some free RAM out of it and a quad core, nice, and a motherboard. Ooh, cool. All right, but this guy's squared away. We bought all this stuff. So let's move on here. New PC wanted. You work with computers, right? So I need a new PC. Have you heard of Minecraft minimum specs? I want to play that. I've got to have it by tomorrow too. I'm a total EVGA fan, but I heard you guys use used parts. Please don't do that. So, he wants to play Minecraft with the minimum specs. So this is going to be a pretty low-powered machine. So we got to be a little careful with our expenses on this one. But yeah, we'll figure that out. So we can literally just build what's here. But use EVGA parts for the most part. So let's take a look here. Home. EVGA. So we'll buy one of these at minus 60. Buy this 650 power supply at minus 130. We might go with this tower right here. Oh, well, there's these guys up here. Smaller towers. Yeah, it's only 90 bucks. Minus 90. Okay, so now we got to go and put it all together here. Now, 6100 is... Oops. Why am I getting this? There we go. Okay, so that's a Skylake. I don't like Skylakes because we hate their motherboards with a passion. And so we want to get away from Skylake. So maybe the 8100 is our best bet. Yeah. Boom. Minus 170. Cooling. Cheap. Minus... Oh, wait, we got cooling. We got cooling in there, don't we? Yeah, we don't need cooling. Motherboard. And we'll go with this guy at minus 155. For the memory, we're just going to go with one stick of something. And it doesn't even have to be very good. We're at 795 bucks, so we're really already coming in kind of hot here on performance. So boom, 20 bucks. You only need 1 gig of RAM to run it. We'll come back and do graphics card last. We'll do one of these for 110. We got a power supply. And we have a case. So that gives us 665 bucks to spend on a graphics card. I like the strategy of what we've been doing. 665, so any of these would work. So any one of these three. So we'll do this one, and that maxes out that build. The thing is saving the video card last really means you can upgrade that thing pretty heavily, which is kind of nice. My rig just isn't up to the task anymore. My graphics card isn't good enough right now. I want 2 GPUs for this build. I like AIO water coolers. Let's put one of them in. Do you like cable modding? Plastic cyan ones. I saw. Okay, I don't even think we have cyan, so we might. I guess we do. It's still annoying. Plastic cyan ones the other day. I worry about used parts. So you guys know, company recommend. He has no industry requirement here. So he's got a Maximus X Apex. Just take a look at that motherboard. Alright, so it's Crossfire SLI. He wants 2 graphics cards plus AIO cooling, and his budget is $1,750. So, he's got a 1070 for the Win 2, so we got to do better than that. This is how I look at it. So let's go to liquid cooling. And boom, minus 60. So at least this was 1690. So you're talking $840 of video card. What's his power supply? 1200? Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. So 845. 845 is our threshold of expenses. Now, they stop at about 840, so we could really put two of these guys in. But if we... I don't know. Yeah, we'll put two of these guys in. Bam, bam. Which leaves us with $10 left. And it should work, because he's got a 1200 watt power supply. And the RAM is fine. And he's got the AIO cooler in there now. So that should be good. Okay, so the only rig that needs to be built is this guy. So let's build it. Let's buy now. So this guy's done. And we did no, like, performance boosting of any kind. We didn't really need to. Okay. So we know he's only going to have one card in here. So power supply. The Supernova. And then motherboard. We only got him one stick of memory, which is this. And he likes ZVGA, so... There we go. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. We'll just shove it up top then. Won't bother with this. Alright, let's do this. Oh wow, I can't attach it to the top. Okay, well. Again, rage at building. So we do have to move this fan. And storage. And Vigicard. And let that go. Like so. Okay. What do we got coming upon the morrow here? Delivery of a Silverstone NJ520. Delivery of team. So, power supply, RAM, tower, heatsink. And that's about it. But yeah, we'll let that run. And we're pretty much done here. How's this going? Pretty good. Oh, well, we need to keep this on because we're gonna turn that in when it's done. But I like having the lights off. I don't know why. Maybe it's that. Maybe when they designed the game, they intended for the lights to be semi-annoying because you're working, you know. And that working in the dark is kind of nice. It also helps when you want to test the lighting and everything, but still, there's a nicety to it. A pleasantness. It's just really hard to see what you're doing. Oh my god. I picked it up. Why? Okay. When is this due? Maybe we'll just let it sit till tomorrow. Oh, he wants it done. Oh no, we're going to let it finish today. Oh, but we could turn that in. Let's do that. Okay, let's make a save. So... Nice. $71,000. If you think about it, if you make 80 grand in a computer store in a year, you could argue, and while paying your rent and everything else, you could argue that you have 30, if you have 80, you would have 50 grand. You'd be making 50 grand a year running a computer shop before taxes. So you'd say you'd run a, so there you go. That's not too bad. Now, to make it really worth your while, you'd want to expand. Now, here's the thing. We really only do about 6 computers a day, max. And doing the 6 computers only ends up taking about an hour. Now, obviously, add another hour to every job because of the fact that we can power through stuff. You know, obviously, we're not unpackaging things and doing that. So I say add in another 30 minutes to an hour per computer. So it would take 12 hours to do those 6 computers, give or take. It's very possible. So it's hard to say. But it makes you wonder, is it possible that to run a job like this 5 days a week and do 8 hours a day and make about 40 grand a year? I say yeah. I think it's pretty possible. It's somewhat possible. And it's interesting if that's the case. All right, got that stuff, and this is an empty case. But here's the thing that they don't tell you about this game is that, and about being a computer repair person in general, just like Auto Mechanics Simulator as well, it's more complicated than what this game makes it out to be. It really is. If you think it gets this easy, you're sorely mistaken to do computer repair. And the only reason I know that is Hobo Headcrab's brother does computer repair for a living. And he'll tell you it's not just something you can easily pick up and do. It's one thing to build your own computer. It's another thing to diagnose and repair. And to do it at a level that's respectable. Because there's a lot of people who feign that they can do this. And what it is, and this is how he explains it to me. He's like, it's not that they can't do it. It's not that they can't do it even well. But they only know as much as they have experience with. And they usually don't have a lot of experience with much. And so when something goes wrong, they don't understand why it's going wrong. And so when you don't understand why something's wrong, it means you really never understood it well enough to begin with. That's his philosophy, not mine. But I get where he's coming from. It is an argument of fact over matter kind of a thing. It's like, oh, I know how to build a computer, and it's like, yeah, to what extent? You only know with what you've worked with, and what you worked with may not be that plentiful or even relevant. And so that's what he's getting at. It's kind of like, think of it like this. There's repair people who work on cars, right? And repair people that work on cars, oftentimes they only repair certain regions of cars. So like there's like people who only work on European cars. There's people that only work on various brands and makes. Like, so maybe one guy only works on repairing Fords because he only knows the design of those vehicles. It's the same practicality, I think, can be applied to computers. You don't know, right, what you can get away with. Oh, I don't mean it that way, but you don't know. If you don't know the building and the architecture of other rigs and other hardware, it becomes a problem. Now, my buddy, who is the brother of Hobo Headcrab, he's a different kind of entity altogether. He's a big hardware guy. He will defend hardware to the ends of the earth. That your hardware sometimes is more important than your software. Software gets corrupted and messed up every day. He's that kind of a philosophical person. But your hardware is what needs to be in sync. So there are people who are like diehard, software driven people. There was a period of that rather. I don't know if anybody remembers that period. But that was the period of, what was it called? Like Apple operating system versus like Microsoft. If anybody ever versus Windows, if anybody even remembers that time, that period. So, we can't put that there because of the heat sink. Or wait a minute. Oh, the motherboard puts it up higher. So we can still put it there. But anyway, yeah, he's an interesting guy to talk to. I love talking to him about, how I'm doing with this game per se. But it's interesting, though. I've watched him actually do repair work. And it's a little bit more... There's a bit more to it than this game lets on. We ran this, didn't we? So yeah, really look into it though. Here's the other thing is, some people say, oh, well, the repair industry is dying. And I disagree. I don't think it's dying. It's more intricate because now you're expected to repair laptops, which, what am I doing? You're expected to repair laptops, which a lot of that stuff is soldered on, so you can't really do that without, taking things apart and resoldering. But this kind of industry you would think would be booming a bit more. Okay, that one's done. Run that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe my head's in the clouds a little bit on it. I've always thought there was more to this. But I know that there is more to this. Just like when you play, and again I'm going to reiterate, when you play like Auto Mechanic Simulator 2018, which I will eventually stream. Which I will eventually stream, or put on do a let's play of, because it's an interesting game. It's not as simple as they make it look, nor is it as cheap. Hi again. No, wait. Let's make sure that's running. That's running. Okay. Hi again. Just a quick note to say good news. We're not being closed down. Thanks to those lovely flyers, the library is more popular than ever now. Packed from open till closed with people reading books and using computers, which you so nicely helped out with to surf the web. I even got authorized to hire an assistant to help me out during the weekends. I never thought I'd see the day I would ask you, seeing as you've done so many little jobs for me lately, but you're too far away. How about you make an honorary librarian instead? Those rowdy school kids came back yesterday. The ones who jammed in up one of the computers with candy wrappers. You remember? They crashed in off the street, slamming the doors and shouting. It was terrible. But then out of the blue, our leather-bound savior came and threw them back outside. Between the flyers, the new computer, and now this, he's done so much for Hahatonka Library. I can't believe I ever thought he was a troublemaker. Do you know, I think he'd be perfect candidate for that assistant position. All the best. Liz Burnett, head librarian. Tonka Public Library. Almost sounds like it's from like the Midwest or of America or even Hawaii in a weird way. Alright, so new build, upgrade. Can you help me with something? My PC is super slow. Yawn. I won't be happy if I can't benchmark 3919. I'd like it done by tomorrow. I've seen those AIO water coolers, and I want one. It's not as quick as it used to be. I like shiny, nice new components. Really quick. I knew it. Come here, Jarvis. You bastard. I knew it. That son of a bitch. We needed to change the cabling. Again, that son of a bitch. There's that cable hiding under here. So nothing plugged in anywhere. Looks good now. Now we gotta retest it. It's like a jackass. I keep forgetting about the damn color cabling. This one is done. Now we know he had no cabling. But yeah, so I'm not gonna get into it that much. And the reason I'm not is because, like I said, there are a lot of people who feign that they know how to repair computers. Like, they really, truly believe they know how to do it. And, like I said, knowing a guy who owns a repair shop and actually does this same kind of stuff for a living, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. Like, he's been talking about it, too. They come in and they want you to repair, like, oh, can you, what was one of the ones he made fun of to me? Can you replace the processor on the motherboard? And he opens it up and it's like soldered on. He's like, no, we can replace the whole motherboard, but at that point you may as well replace the laptop. And people get weird about it. They're like, well, why can't you just replace the processor? And he's like, it's soldered onto the motherboard, you psycho. Well, they don't understand what solder means, so you have to explain it to them. And they get kind of weird about it. And it's just the way that people are, I guess. But, Can you help with this? Do you think you could help me make some upgrades? I want to make sure my rig is as fast as it can be. Can you get it to benchmark at least 4506? Do you think you could get it all done in 4 days? An AIO water cooler would give me some headroom for overclocking later on. I think I might have visited one too many dodgy sites. I read that MSI parts are really good. Okay, so we accept. But we kind of need the rig here. Much like the other one. Even though we could really just look and see what upgrade we can afford with that. It's got an okay processor. The RAM is fine. The video card is garbage. So obviously the majority would be spent on power supply, maybe RAM, and a video card. For this guy, that would be in transit. He wants a better video card, and it's MSI and water cooling. So we would take $60. So he'd have $640 to spend on a video card. It has to be MSI. and he would be happy as well. Um, let's see, and we've got some new PC builds, so that's something worth looking at as well. Oh yeah, we're not buying that. What? Dual carded 2 gig? You gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, I'm not worried. Ooh, nice. Not worried about that. Yeah, we'll look at these on the next episode, won't we? Alright, now this is done. We don't have to... And look, it was 12,000 without us even jacking it up, either, when you think about it. Performance-wise. Makes you wonder what else is in there making it tick. Alright, just because it's one of those kind of, you know, rigs. There we go. Sweet. Copper ridged pipe, whatever. Alright. Oh no. Luckily, they're all within reason. I'm in the market for a new PC. Do you think you can get the CPU to 3900 megahertz for me? I want the GPU to run at 1468. So can you do it in 4 days? I heard you guys use these parts. Please don't do that. Have you heard of Corsair? They're meant to be pretty good. Yeah, whatever. Jeez, I'm crow. $4,000? Anything I want. Oh, Intel. But still, almost anything I want for $4,000? Shit, yeah. Adobe Photoshop CC. Well, that's not a big one. It's really... Oh, it's not even Pro? $4,000 on a thing to just run regular Photoshop, huh? On minimum settings. Look at, our own current computer almost meets that requirement. It just needs some more RAM. But no, we're not building that thing yet. No. So yeah, let's just order the stuff for this. So for this guy, our budget's 4,000. We'll build it probably on the next episode. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. Corsair. Boom. Minus 180. Power supply. We'll go with one of these for 100. Storage, just the standard fare for fast storage speed. We don't need to go too big if we want to go big on other stuff. 110. And then processor, we can spend $1,200 for this beast at 18 cores. Oh god, second gen Threadripper is 24. Sure, why not? Minus 1,200. Cooling, he doesn't care about liquid cooling, so he gets the cheap. Minus 10. Motherboard, it's the 2099 or 2066. Do we want the 4400? Yeah, we want the 4400. So boom, minus 400 puts us at 2,000. So here's the deal. I'm actually gonna probably go back to the other one. Because it's cheaper by $100, and the RAM is going to be cheaper. And the reason why is it's not a $5,000 machine. That's pretty much it. So if we had $5,000, we could spend more, but we don't really have that. And really, look at that, $1,280. Which really... Where does that put us at? It puts us at 820 for the graphics card. And that would be one card. So I'm wondering if we just go with 4. That leaves us with 1460. So that's 730 a video card. But if we go to 2, right, that puts it at 320. 1780 is a bit more to work with. And 17, if we're at 17, that means we can go 8 and 8 is 16, right? So 870 would be 1740, right? So we could go with 2 of these guys or even 2 of these guys. Minus 840, minus 840. I'm actually curious. I want to see how these perform with this kind of setup. So, yeah. It leaves us with $100 left. So I will do this instead. We will get rid of that. Go to cooling. So we have $110 to spend on liquid cooling. Because why not, right? And the question is there a 3-piece for $100? No, there isn't. So there's 110 right here at 240 in size. So we'll just grab this, boom, and we're done with that. Okay, new PC needed. I'm in the market for a new PC. Do you think you can get it to upgrade to 3900 megahertz for me? I want my GPU to run at 1468. So can you do it in 4 days? I read that Corsair. I hate you guys use parts. Please don't do that. If you're of Corsair, they're meant to be pretty good. We accept this too, as goofy as it requested it is, because all we got to do is make sure that we use some Corsair parts. His budget is $1750, and so that's going to be a thing in and of itself. But that number is totally reachable without having to go too hardcore. So first things first, we can just get another one of these. Boom, minus 180. That's probably the luxury aspect of this build. And we'll just get a 750 watt. So that's minus 110. And the storage, we're going to pay 94 minus 90. And if we go with a Coffee Lake, we'll need 4,000. And we'll just do 8 gigs of that. Boom, boom. That's minus 160. Okay, so now we have $1,200 to burn on everything else, which should be fine. Oh, they make these too, but we won't bother with that at the moment. If we have the money to do it, we'll do it. All right, so 3,900 or better. We should be able to find that relatively easy. Yep. No Coffee Lake, but a Cabby Lake, which I'm willing to do. So that's a boom minus 120. It's what happens when you don't care about overall performance and numbnuts. 1468. So graphics card. We have 1,090 to burn, technically. So we're looking for 1468 or better. Found it right here. Any of these would do. We'll do this guy right here at 530. Bam, minus 530. And then for the cooling, we can go with the Corsair here, which we'll go with the big in for 200, just to see how we can get, if we can get one in there. There we go. Look at that. That's all squared away. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. When we come back, we're going to be building these 2 rigs, as well as we, I think, need to wait for those other ones to come in before we start figuring out what we got to do to them. But most importantly, that is the game plan. So anyway, again, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JackTartStudios, for more live gaming action that you definitely don't want to miss out on. We also have our Chairman of the Board show, which is our tabletop show, is also found on that channel. All kinds of cool stuff that you don't want to miss, as well as the Hobo Head Crab Blind Play show. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. We will see you guys next time.